Welcome to the Daily Quest show once again. I promised you guys, niliwa promise we will have men on the show. We really want to know what men want. And today I have a friend, not just another guest, but a friend, both personal friend, family friend. Yeah, unaweza jiintroduce kabla tujaanza mjadala huu wa leo.
Yeah, asante sana Ray, thank you very much for hosting me in this show. I feel like I'm on the bench or something like that. I'm not used to these things behind the screens. Nevertheless, I'm sure butterflies
zitapungua
as we move along. Yeah. So my name is Brian Mugoya. Yes, I'm a Christian. I'm a father. I am, of course, a son, a brother. Yeah, I'm married to one wife. I have two sons. I'm blessed to have two sons, and I thank the Lord. Yes, indeed. Yeah.
So first of all, relax. Utapewa maji nini?
Yes.
Just a normal conversation. Najua hii mambo ya light, screen, all that.
Action nini? Atajazoea.
Tunaweza kuintimidate, but just feel at home. Just the normal conversations that we normally have.
Yeah.
Ndio umejiintroduce, I know you have a wealth of knowledge when it comes to finances. Umejiintroduce who you are, umeintroduce familia. Tuambie, what do you do? What are you good at? What do you do from is it 8 to 5? Ama yako ni around the clock?
Yeah, well, yeah, sometimes it's it can be any time of the day if need be, depending with the situation. But I am a financial advisor. Yeah, I'm passionate about matters of financial planning.
So umesikia, kama uko na mado kuna mtu atakuadvise, na kama hauna pia atakuadvise vile utazipata na utazisave,
na vile utasave, utainvest, the way plan for your future and even generations to come. Yeah, so things that will outlive you. So not only do you live for yourself, but also for your children and their children, and
so leaving a legacy,
exactly.
So usikuishi tu ukijua ukidai ni hivyo.
Bana ni muhimu bana kupanga hizi vitu at least so that you kind of live for something that is beyond the ordinary. Of course, paying bills, living a, so to speak, good life. There's much more to life than that, Yeah, so those are the conversations we talk about. I help people to achieve.
Okay, in a nutshell, the simplest way, you're a financial advisor.
Yes. In summary, yes.
In all sectors.
Yeah, in all sectors. Matters, succession planning, estate planning, matters, of course, retirement planning. It's important to think about after you have, in your sunset years, think about that, will planning. And as you're working in your active life, you have children, you want to plan for their education, you want them to have a good education. So that's where I come in. Things, simple things like, setting up emergency funds, sinking funds. Yeah, with many avenues available to help you achieve that. Yeah.
Okay, I think we will get into that in a while.
Yeah.
But first of all, I had promised our viewers, I had promised the people who have subscribed, I will call men here. So you're man number one. Yeah. And the conversation that we were having with Agi in episode 4, this is episode 5, yeah. In the conversation was a tug of wants. I think that was the topic. What do men want? What do women want? And in that conversation, I know you have watched that episode.
Yeah.
Ulisema I might be biased. Maybe what I want as a man, sio kila kitu every man would want. So I said I'll invite men. So we have this conversation.
Yeah.
What do men want? Yeah. So in your perspective, what are the key wants of men?
Yeah, indeed. What a question. What do men want? Of course, first thing comes to mind is lots of action in the bedroom. Yeah, but I'm joking, and I think, well, actually that is part of it.
That is part of it.
Yeah, you need a healthy sex life. Yes, I think that is one of the things that men want. You know, you want satisfaction. Yeah. Yeah, and so beyond the bedroom, you want some form of independence. Yeah, you don't want to be in a situation whereby you're always kind of you are on the spotlight at every time, with nagging demands, commands, instructions, do this, do that, what not to do. You don't want that. You want or I want a sense of independence, autonomy of sorts, that even since, as I mentioned, I'm married, after the conversation we've had, at least you have been, you're left to have some room to maneuver, so that you make decisions independently, at least, at the very least, without too much interference. As in, there should be that trust that the decision you make is for the good of not only you, but the family as well. Yeah, so there's that independence.
So independence in the form of you can make your own decisions without being questioned.
Yeah, actually, yeah, to some extent.
You don't need to report each and everything that you do.
Yeah. Because I think mostly it's based on trust. You feel you're much more secure when you know you're trusted and your decisions can be trusted as a man. Because I believe there's a reason why the man is called to be the head. Yeah, so much as
last time I
niliona ilileta tumbo joto,
but head and neck.
Well, okay, sawa. For the sake of this conversation, head and neck. But of course there were tails that were mentioned there. They didn't go very well. But yeah, so that doesn't mean that there's no space for discussion. Of course, there is communication, which comes first, because there has to be something that we talked about before, the decisions are made. Yeah, so I'm sure, like, we are now living in the age of equality. So everything is just equality. What men can do.
Ladies, women can do better.
Better, yeah, you've had that, and it started as a joke. Saizi bana, naona nika tunaelekea hapo bana. Like, they kind of do stuff that were traditionally for men, but they're doing it better, no doubt. But that does not overlook the fact that still the man has to take leadership role, of especially the family setup, and by extension the society. Yeah, so there has to be that role. So the independence here is coming from a point of course, some form of agreement through communication, and then you're led to now execute without too much scrutiny and questioning. Yeah.
I think I want to divert this conversation a little bit. Maybe the lady, it might be controversial, but unajua hao ndio wanafanya hii life ikuwe ngumu. Ukweli sio. Please answer.
Yeah, well. Yeah, I have to be very careful with that answer. I'm walking on eggshells right now. Yeah, because I run the risk.
Upate mahali pa kulala.
Yeah, na unajua saizi tushafika PM, so I need to be very careful. Yeah.
So it's general. So it's a general thing. We talk about being independent. But unapata, as much as you want to be independent, there are ladies, there are wives who are trying to pull you down from the independence. So that they are fully depending on you. Yeah, there's this notion, this is it phrase that ladies say that my money is my money, and your money is our money. Yeah. So it's like they're depending on men regardless. Hata tukijaribu kuwa independent bado kuna watu wanajaribu kutuvuta chini, ama they're trying to fully depend on us. Na ni the same gender, wanaleta mambo ya equality. Wanaleta what man can do, a woman can do. But kuna ako ka notion ama ka phrase. What do you make up of that phrase? When ladies say my money is my money and your money is our money.
Yeah, I think I come from the point of being a Christian. Yeah, and what the belief system in as a Christian is, and this is what I believe is when two become one, you are now united. So it means there should be nothing like my money is my money. Like when you make an income and your spouse does the same. When you come to the house, like when you meet at the household, that should be taken as your money collectively. Yeah, so from which now you can now go ahead to now make your plans based on the money that has come in the basket. Yeah, without this hidden things on the side, because eventually, as we have come to see, it short circuits your relationship. Yeah, always. When you're hiding some money on the side, and it doesn't come off very well in the fullness of time. Yeah, because mistrust comes in, because now that's like you have exposed a part of your life that does not trust the man or your relationship. Yeah, yet if you can trust your spouse with your body and
naked,
and
completely,
imagine.
No.
Think about that. As in you can be naked in front of your spouse. Yeah, how come now money is coming in the way of that trust? Yeah, because that ultimately is what you're doing, and in the end, in the long run, it doesn't work out well. So from where I come from, it's our money. So from this one pot, we plan our finances as a unit, as a family unit. That way, actually, there's someone, I forget the author, but they said, marriage, the marriage institution is the most underestimated form of investment. Yeah, opportunity. Yeah, so because you see, when you are separate, before you come together, you're making your income and they are doing the same separately. But then when you come together, you have now the opportunity of combining the two incomes to one pot. So what you would have done as an individual will take you more time compared to when you're two people, because now you have more money, now you can do much more. So it's one of the like investment opportunities that is highly overlooked, especially when it comes to now my money is your money, is my money, and yours is yours. So you see, so the division continues on, and you fail to take advantage of the opportunity that marriage presents, of coming together. So yes, I know the notion is there, but personally I don't subscribe to it. I treat money, finances, our money is collective, is money for the family, so we plan for it as a family.
Okay, just hold that conversation there. Tutairudia. Come back to the money talk. So number one, you said men want action. Action in the bedroom. Number two, you've said independence. Number three?
Number three, companionship. Clearly, when you're two, you have company. So when you have company, for me, and I believe for many other people, it's, you have, for obvious reasons, conversations, you after a long day at work, you have someone to look forward to having this conversation about how the day was, how things went, the ups, the downs, the successes. You at least you have an ear at home that is not in the ideal situation. I think the disclaimer is in the ideal situation, someone who is not judgmental. They will encourage you, they won't put you down. They'll give you ideas on the things that you can improve, during the, your work life journey. So companionship is
key.
It's very key, I believe.
And I think the word companionship is perceived different between men and women. For them, I think when you mention companionship, I don't know why ladies might think it's holding hands, kushinda mekadol and all that. And for men, companionship, we just want you there. I don't know for you or for other men, but to me, companionship, I just want you there in the room. Someone to talk to, someone to ask some questions, someone to share thoughts, and sometimes just someone just to be there to watch a movie. We don't need a lot of action. Just being there in the room, being there in our lives. I think that is the point. Indeed,
because there was I remember that brings to mind, before I got married, I had worked, like I was working for some time. So I remember there was a point, it got so lonely, so you ndio alituimbia, Mr. Lonely. So you come home, the house is cold, it's quiet. Well, sometimes you appreciate the quietness, but for the most part you feel like you need someone to talk to, at least to have some chat conversation. So it gets to a point, as in for me, at the point it got to a place where marriage, among other things, don't get me wrong, was companionship. Like it became now a matter of necessity. Like maze siwezi endelea hivi, baridi bana, kwanza especially with the cold season. Peke yako kwanza, used to live in an apartment. It was well, it was lonely. It was it wasn't the best experience. Yeah, so I remember like through my mind every time I come home, hey, I'm thinking, maze hapa nahitaji mtu hapa, nahitaji. I think that's why Waswahili walisema kupata jiko. You know, mke ni jiko. I think ana warm the room bana. I think they had this in mind. Wanaleta warmth, you know. Yeah, so but then having said that, there is also a part for that, like what you mentioned about you know, being holding hands, you know, being cuddling. Exactly, yeah, kuwa mashimashi. Kuna pia there's a time for that as well. Yeah, because you know, in my few years of existence, I've discovered, you know, women, is a whole anatomy to them, you know, especially when it comes to matters intimacy. Yeah, so, you know, you begin from kitambo, like the way Waswahili said jiko, you know, the way makani nini pepeta. Yeah, so hakuna story ya microwave hapa, you know, so ni kitu. So you find that now
sasa zingine unapata makaa
imenyeshewa. Now imagine, so unaanza
kukausha makaa.
Hakuna kitu ngumu kama hiyo.
Unaanza kukausha makaa
kwanza ikauke ndio sijui as in it can be a lot of work. And so the tricks and the tips that we are coming to learn in this journey is that that's one of the things they need, ile cuddling nini, some, you know, using words, you know, words to just spice up the process mapema. Yeah, so kuna hiyo pia, but kwa companionship, yes, especially for me,
unasikia
si ati ni universal
to you.
see maybe see universal, but for me ni ile like a normal working day, just want to come home, spend some time with the kids, then of course see them off to bed, then I will have some time with my wife, just could decompress to kuongea tu, just to recap the day, bila pressure. Yeah, that, I think for me it has been therapeutic. Yeah, so by the time I'm going to bed,
Diata unapata, by the way, this is true story. Every time a young man marries, ndio wanakwanga ni kama sindano. After 1 year manze, napatana na mtu namuuliza, kwani naona ulipata jiko na inapika vizuri. Si ameongeza, maybe just psychological, hakuna stress, meisha, you're no longer lonely, so hata body inaanza kufunction, unaanza kupata kinyama.
Imagine, yeah, because there's a friend of mine anasemanga, well, you can look at it in a different way. Anasema, you know, your bachelor diet ni coke na bread, mkate na coke. So mambo zingine kupika, ukiingia kitchen there's only one plate, one spoon, na hizo hata they ulinunua tu as a by the way. Otherwise
unaishi ni kama high school man.
Kama high school. Kama mimi nilikuwa proper bachelor, yani ile.
Oh really?
Stories za mapishi, unless it's a takeout or I've eaten out, story ya kupika bana, so everything is intact. Sijui kuka nini, the kitchen is has, you know, everything that you need to cook.
Yeah, we appreciate the ladies, they come to organize our life.
Yeah, I think it's true that when they say you know, a wife makes a home. Yeah, so you know,
even the Bible says whoever finds a wife finds a good thing, and obtains favor from the Lord. Manze kama ni bachelor hapo nje.
Hapo nje.
You need to find this good thing.
Kuna favor, actually there is favor when you know, when you get a wife. Yeah, so
men need wives.
Yeah.
What do men want? That is number 4.
I think
if you're a man and you don't have a wife and you're of age, you need a wife.
yeah, I think my wife, if she's watching, I'm sure what she's saying at this point, the answer to all these stories that we are giving in point format, what a man needs is a wife. Yeah, of course, we will debate about that. Yeah, because there's much more to it.
Yeah, so I think this combined with what I said last time, we'll still have more men who will come and just say what they want. So I think on my end, nilisema about peace. A man wants peace.
Yeah.
A man wants respect. Yeah, those were the two main ones. Yeah. And umekuja ukaongeza the others. Yeah, so you've heard. I'll still bring more men. So let's now go back to the conversation. Yeah, money. I know that is such a big conversation everywhere.
Yes.
As a single person, in marriage, in families, equally the nuclear family, extended family. Just kuko na so many types of family, the complicated ones. Money is core. Money is a core factor in most of the relationships. So let's talk about money. And my first question is, you've talked about investments. So how much does one need to start investing? Kwa sababu sometimes mtu anasikianga investment anadhania ni china kubwa sana. So how much does anybody need to start investing?
It's a very good question. How much do you need? I like to keep it simple. Just keep it simple. It's work with a fraction, a percentage. So regardless of the income you're making, at least set aside. Well, there's all this advice you get from different quarters, 20%, 30%, 30, 40, 20, 20, as in there are so many variations. But to keep it simple, for starters especially, you have never been in that journey and you want to begin, strive. And the word I'm using there is strive. It's never easy for most beginners. So just strive to save, at least set aside 20%, because the journey of investing begins with saving. So there has to be some form of money so that you can, put in investment.
So here are two terms that I want also you to break down. There is savings, and there is investment. Is saving and investment, is saving and investment one and the same thing?
Now, it's not the same thing, yet in some instances they can look the same. So saving simply is in the context of money, is putting money away for future use. So future use can be anything. It can be an investment, it can be an emergency, it can be you want to purchase an item that is probably unaffordable at that point, so you want to accrue or build up the money to a point where you can afford it. That's a saving. So that saving becomes an investment if it's earning an extra coin on it. So you can actually, there's also this misconception that an investment has to be like something that is active. It's either a shop or a physical place you have opened, or For example, like say if it's an Uber or transport business, you have bought the car so that now you put it in the business. So now that acts as a, so while that is true, a saving can also be an investment. You can actually save. You can actually invest by saving. So the moment the money you set aside earns an income or earns an extra coin, it becomes an investment. So that's what now is categorized as a passive investment. So that is an investment that does not require you to actively engage in any trade or business, buying or selling of anything. You just put your money and let others, invest for you so that you can make the income.
Okay. So regardless of the amount that you have, so umesema ikuwe ni percentage so of your income. So hapa hivi hii maneno inakuwa tricky. If 10% inaenda kwa Mungu, 20% ndio imeenda saving, another percentage imeenda kwa black tax.
Of course, African setup, black tax pia.
Black tax lazima.
Ni kama,
And it's not really directly to your family. At the moment that you are an African, kutakuwa sijui na mchango ya nani, sijui uko na rurashio, sijui nani yako wapi. Yani every month I think unakuwa na contribution ya mtu somewhere. So that is what we are calling black tax.
True.
And so on and so forth. Sasa na kuna bills za kulipa, unabaki na nini? Yani mtu anaweza, especially if the income is such it's a very minimal income. See, we are not talking about mabazu wenye 10% kwao ni kama salary ya watu 10. So how do you plan yourself if your income is pretty much squeezed and you have a lot on your table?
Good question. Now, first, the reason why you work with percentages is actually umesahau bado Zakayo bado.
Bado Zakayo.
Ako pale pia anataka tu bado ile income tu bado ndo pia ana time hata yeye. So now the reason why is, when we work with a percentage, it is easier. It's easier even for the mind to now conceptualize. So if I'm getting 1,000 here, 10% of it I need to set it aside. It's because generally, according to research, is in the ideal world, you need to live on 70% of what you earn. You earn. That way, you'll be living within your means. So the moment you're exceeding that amount, chances are you're actually living beyond your means. Yes. So that's a guideline. And so when you use 10%, actually for a start, it's 10% because everyone has their own 10%. Those who are earning millions, hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds, the daily wages, you have your 10%. So that is the amount which is equivalent to your net worth. So so that's why you don't put a figure like, when you ask how much, so I can't really say it's 10,000 or 10 million or 1,000, 5,000. So it is each according to their ability. Yes. So so that is relevant to your net worth. So that's not too much, it's not too little, it's just equivalent to how much you're making.
Okay. Let's talk about the avenues. We have different avenues of growing money. So I know as a current account, pesa ikiwa tu imekaa kwa bank mahali, that is not an avenue of making money. Yeah, because maybe hata sometimes unapata wame deduct some CG bank charges here and there depending with the bank that you're banking with. But there are genuine places where someone can invest instead of letting your money just stay in a current account. There are different avenues that one can save and actually their money can grow. So let's just talk about that. I think that is very important for people out there, just to know which are these avenues that you're telling me my money can grow genuinely. Zile pyramid schemes and so on and so forth.
So there are a number of avenues. I'm sure these days, the average Kenyan is very tech savvy, very savvy even in matters, in every sector. Like people are knowledgeable about these things. So this is information that is out there in the public. However, now before we get into that, I think that's the point where I like to put in this disclaimer that always engage the experts. Always engage the experts. So just the way when your car is broken and it needs fixing, unaenda kwa mech. Vile tu ukiwa na illness unataka check up, the right place to enda ni hosi, ona a specialist, ona daktari. So I know Google can be your friend, but so while you do that, before you make the decisions, always ensure that you have someone who is knowledgeable or who is an expert in that field to guide you. Because sasa unapata rarely is there a one size fits all. Normally it's different people depending with their personalities, their income, their goals, their financial goals. Different avenues apply to them differently. So you might go on copying your colleague or your friend.
Ama uko na influence ya social media. Unaona tu very young people. Wanapeana pressure, mara sijui yako na gari gani, mara sijui amejenga wapi. A lot of influence that is on social media. Now
ujui what it takes to fika kwa that level.
Watu wote wanasema ni
forex
ama ni stock. Lakini hatufunzi
manze. Bana. Hatufunzi bana, alafu pia unajua
hatufunzi hata sisi tuumuke bana.
Of course tukifika hapo sasa niko sure as forex they are not very happy, but the truth is if it was that easy for people to make money, a lot of money in that short period of time that way, then kila mtu angefanya hivyo. Kwani and then mbona mbona hatuna like a genuine straightforward course in school to teach people how to make money,
how to get out from a bed sitter to a 7-mansion, 7-story house.
7-story house in Rwanda. So so kuna hizo so always lazima you engage the experts, pressure social media. So the avenues you asked about, so for passive savings, of course, as you mentioned, kuna bank account. But then in the bank, of course, there are different types of accounts. So if it's just a normal current account, then you are not making any money there. So
actually they're using your money.
Of course, they're using your money to make money, and you're actually paying for it, through ledger fees, those charges. So that should not be one of the ways to go. Now, if you want to consider the bank, perhaps a fixed deposit. Fixed deposit, you have a fixed period of time where they give you, you get some interest. So rather than your money just lie there, at least the fixed deposit way can also be one of those ways. Now, yeah, so that's also an avenue that the bank can provide. Now, another way of simply saving is the money market fund. Yeah, so it's very popular these days. I don't think I have had a conversation about money without someone bringing it up. Yeah, it's very popular these days. Why? The minimum savings amount has incredibly been reduced.
Yeah.
Kitambo, to open a money market account was $500,000 plus.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So I remember
kama
when-
siku hizi
so tano. Yeah, 500 bob uko ndani. Yeah.
What?
And actually they expect even as low as 100 bob. Yeah. So no one has an excuse of not having an avenue to save.
You mean ilikuwa that tight?
Ilikuwa crazy.
Half a mic.
$500,000, yes. Yeah.
And
yeah.
those days not everyone could,
It was for the few.
angeshika half a meter.
Yeah. Ilikuwa ni ya wachache. And hata wakiita GM, it's just
Ni
wale wazito high end hotels, do their meeting there and kuisha. It's like a club. But I think
so actually what you're saying right now, hakuna mtu anafaa kuwa na excuse of not investing.
Yes.
If on I accept 500 shillings, umesema 100, kuna wale
100 bob, yes.
100 bob.
Yeah, 100 bob.
And your money grows on a daily basis.
On a daily basis, yes.
So there is no excuse for someone to say manze mi sijui kusave.
Yeah, kuna excuse.
Information haiko nje vizuri.
Yeah, maybe you can say that. Maybe it's ile information. Yeah, but I think where we are or where we are going, information may spread to some good extent. Yeah, so unapata in many cases tu ni ile procrastination tu, yani unasema tu kesho. Yeah, so tomorrow 1 year, 5 years, 10 years of inaction, you're actually losing money in the process. So money market fund is a easy, simple to start. Like I mentioned, always engage the experts. These days, even banks, I think all banks now have, apart from insurance companies, even now banks are offering money market funds. Yeah, it's simple because it's a low risk investment. Yeah, so when you put,
is it a low risk or a no risk?
Actually, well, it's in financial terms, it's actually zero risk. It's a zero risk investment. Why? Because the money is reinvested in like guaranteed income portfolios. Yeah, not to get into too much technical stuff, but you're almost 100% guaranteed that you will always get your money.
Lose money.
You cannot lose your money there. Yeah, so it preserves your capital and then also adds you interest. Yeah, so it's so since the risk is low and the way the rule works is high risk, high return. Yeah, so the higher the risk in any investment, the higher the chances of getting a big interest. But the more the risk is low, then the return is lower as well, and this is why the returns on money market are normally conservative. Yeah, so it's not very high, it's a very conservative rate. But the good thing, it's compound interest. Yeah, so it's compound interest. So that's about money market. It can be a good avenue to start. Want to start set up an emergency fund, that's the avenue. An emergency, things happen on short notice, money market. You want to set up a sinking fund.
What is a sinking fund?
All right, a sinking fund is a savings avenue that you are putting in money that you want to purchase an item with. Yeah, but you don't have the full amount. Yeah, so
unaweza jilipa mdogo mdogo hadi pesa ifike.
Hadi pesa ifike. As long as uko na hiyo discipline ya kulipa
so
regular.
Instead taking a loan, if
Yeah.
I'm able to restrain myself and contribute to myself
Yeah.
your pesa until ifike ile amount I want to purchase,
Yeah.
then that's a good avenue.
Indeed, 100%. Because now that's now what we call delayed gratification. So rather than get the item now through a loan, you can actually delay that, and actually the repayment you're doing could form part of the savings. So you actually save up for it to get it later. And
Actually your money is gaining interest.
Yes.
Whereas if it was instant gratification, which is a loan, you're actually paying the interest.
You are paying the interest. So it's more expensive.
Yeah.
So always the shortcut normally is the most expensive.
So if you're able to delay it,
yes,
just delay and grow your money.
Yeah.
Rather than kukimbilia for instant gratification, and you end up in a bigger ditch.
Because now you see, much as the loan can help you get it now, that's fine. But on the other hand, it's in another way you're eating your tomorrow. Yeah, so while the saving is going to help you tomorrow, the loan now has eaten into tomorrow's income. Because you see, you never know about tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow you never know, and this is why it's important to at least set aside something for the future in terms of savings. Yeah, because of unforeseen circumstances or situations are taking place.
Yeah. So I know when we were talking, you also raised other things that I didn't know, and maybe other people are just like me. It's just being ignorant.
Yeah.
Things like lending the government. I don't know if people know out there. Do you know you can actually lend the government and get interest through bonds and the like? I think you can talk about that.
Yeah, another savings avenue that is also gaining popularity. I think it's the way the central bank has managed to demystify the whole process, and just go digital and put a lot of material online. Yeah, because it used to be, again, I think, shrouded in a lot of mystery. Because you had to go all the way to central bank, fill physical forms, submit. Wait, ni process bana, hata ni kitambo nani atafika CBK.
Hizo ni bonds, T-bill, and the likes.
Yes, treasury bonds and treasury bills. Yeah, so now it's easy. You can just that process is still there. You can still walk into CBK, but on the other hand, just log into their website. Very easy, just apply.
No lipa na M-Pesa.
Yeah, no lipa na M-Pesa. Yeah, so it has become easy. Or well, a bit straightforward. Yeah, so lending money to the government. Yes, so every time government floats bonds. So in simple terms, the government needs money to operate and do various projects. So since they don't have the money, so they incentivize you to give them money.
IMF
kwa government. Na unaweza itumia pia, like, cause normally cause the treasury bills are the ones that are like short term in nature. Yeah, so 90 days, 182. So it's they are short term. So within a year, those ones 3, 6 months, 1 year, you get your money back.
Your money plus interest.
Yes. But then the bonds are the longer term ones. So if you now, depending with the bond the government has floated, so it depends. So normally 10 years, 7 years, depending with the project they're doing. as high as 25 years even. Yeah, so you 20 years. So that's an avenue where you can put in a lump sum, and then it also forms a part of your income also. So because the way bonds work, you get coupons every 6 months. So coupons means, it's just, in simple terms, you can say you get an interest or you get an income. So it's a percentage of your investment. So based on the percentage the government is giving you. So every 6 months there's an income. 6 months income until maturity, when you are refunded your full amount.
That's a very good passive income.
Yes.
And how safe is it? How risky is it? Can someone lose money from bonds and from lending the government in one way or another?
Well, no. Yeah, because the saying normal is the government always pays. Yeah, so the worst that can happen
scenario.
is a delay, perhaps, and that is which has not happened in the recent past, or it has not happened. But in from what I know, what I see, perhaps many years in future, the worst perhaps would be a delay. So rather than say pay you now, or when you are expecting, or when your maturity was due, maybe a delay of maybe several months or something. But that has not happened before, so no need to panic. So they always pay.
Okay.
Actually, that's one of the expenditures they ensure is among their priority list. Yes.
So hiyo ni priority lazima
juu sasa unajua kesho wanajua hata float ingine so salaries huko can delay, other expenses can delay, even tenders and those things, but bonds, bills, those ones are paid promptly. Hizo sijaona zikichelewa.
Awesome. Na can foreigners invest on bonds? Yani naweza sema maybe naona hii Kenya yetu vile inaenda, acha niende pale kwa Suluhu, labda nitapata suluhisho hapo. Niende nika invest TZ, ama can someone from a foreigner from another country come and purchase bonds?
Yes, a foreigner from another country, they can. Actually, interestingly, they form the bulk of our local investors. Like, they outnumber local investors in terms of the amount of money that they put in. So normally it's international investors that invest more than even Kenyans. So far on the government bonds. So yes, you can. So normally they require you to, of course, the KYC documents, of course the identification,
KYC, at least you're najua customer document.
Know your customer, and then they normally issue you with a PIN. So but that is so it's different from the one that we use, the KRA PIN number. So you're given another number that is equivalent of the KRA, and then you're good to go. So once you set up that one and provide the other documents, yes, you can.
I think this conversation is such enlightening. The insights are so many. Nimesema once we start touching on finances,
it can go on.
It can go on and on and on. And I think that is something else men want. They want security. They want to grow their money.
Of course.
End of the day, me as a man, I want that security. I want to grow my money. I want to ensure that where I've put my money, it's a safe investment, that mimi ni mtu wa low risk. I think I'm one of those low risk guys, where I'm investing my money. Sizitaka kusikia ati imeogelea. So this is such a good conversation. I think we will have you back definitely We talk more on other aspects of finances. When we began, you talked about education. Kwanza sasa nakwambia education inatuchapa kidogo. I'm thinking if this is the amount I'm paying for my kids wakiwa primary ama ni primary ama the lower grades depending. Na imagine university tutalipa aje? Na tutatoboa aje?
Imagine.
That's a conversation that we need to have. How do you plan for your kids' education? How do you plan for retirement? Do you know sometimes people don't think about retirement until they get there. They think maisha no maya and you just dancing, you think you'll be dancing throughout. Na mahali tafika uko na mkokocho. And sometimes mtu anadhanianga ni uko mbali. Until ifike, you can see most of the age our parents wanaanza ku rely on their kids. Hawakujipanga. So retirement is quite something else. How to plan for the future. Education, more about investments, and so on and so forth. So I think we'll have you back. We continue with the conversation. And if you're out there and you need Andrew Mugoya's contacts, I think we will put them there. You can reach him regardless of the finance situation that you are in, ama whatever discussion you want to have with him about finances. So asante sana.
Karibu sana. Thank you very much.
So parting shot. What do men want?
Men want wives. I want to sound as politically correct as possible, but on a serious note, by the way. We need
cheza kama unaenda nyumbani kulala.
Lazima nicheze safe, but for real, it's those things we have talked about, and it differs. I'm sure when you host other men, they will also highlight what is important to their lives. Yes, and for me, I think those are the things that matter to a bigger extent, at least. In relation to our spouses. So thank you very much indeed for hosting me. And you are right actually. Butterflies iliisha wakati tulianza kuongea,
it's an open conversation. So thank you guys. Until next time, keep it Daily Quest Show. Keep it Daily Quest Show. Bye.
All right.